Hello everyone, I am Tacet and welcome to the Gems of War Guild Wars Week 11, Day 4. So today, we're actually already finished Tower of Doom. We were able to get that finished yesterday as far as the last little bit of that. So today the main goal that we're going to be having is farming a little bit more gold and chaos shards. Of course, this is with the daily delves there, in order to get ourselves a little bit more resources for the delves, not next week, but the following week. There's actually going to be 2 delves that we're going to need to do for once instead of just 1. Technically, you can still only do 1, but the main reason why we're going to want to do more towards 2 is All-Seeing Eye is going to be that week on the Tuesday, and the main reason that's going to be relevant is a couple weeks ago they ended up making all the faction pets that you end up getting from factions count towards the kingdom itself, and All-Seeing Eye is getting an event that week that's going to be bringing it to the first 17-star kingdom, and it's going to be the first time when, since pets from factions now count towards kingdoms, where that's basically going to be required in order to upgrade the kingdom. We can't currently see it because of this little thing right here. If I'm not mistaken, I actually still have an image of it somewhere. Let me see if I can go find it real quick. That's not the image I'm looking for. This should be the image I'm looking for. There it is. But if I'm not mistaken, we could just go right here. And yeah, right there on power level 17. It requires 2 keep troops right there, as you can see. Upgrade 2 kingdom pets to level 20. And that's what we basically need it for. So we are going to be burning through a lot of gems, but the main thing that we're also burning through indirectly is gold, because to actually upgrade those factions if we want to get them to about level 200, of course we don't technically have to, but I don't know, I like getting them to 200, but to get both of them to 200, that's going to burn through a lot of gold. That's anywhere from like 3 to 5 million gold or so, somewhere around there, so it's definitely going to burn through a lot, to say the least. But anyways, let's go and get into things. Yeah, let me double check Tower of Doom real quick. I'm pretty sure we were like done with that. I'm pretty sure some people in my guild are still doing a few more battles because why not? But we really don't need to unless we want to keep up with the leaderboard. But there is almost no point in doing so based on how ridiculously low the loot is on Tower of Doom. Not really sure why they structured it this way. At least it's a really easy event to get the stage 12 stuff done, because all the extra Doom things account for 2 of them, and you barely even need any, since each field only requires a few hundred. But, yeah, they made the leaderboard for this so weird compared to all the other game modes, but, oh well. Not sure if they're ever going to adjust that or not, but, it is what it is. Anyways, let's just go do, some of the dailies now, and, hand out a code probably once we get done the first, delve. Currently, I'm still also indirectly trying to upgrade Oracle and, I forgot what the other useless hero class is called, War Priest, mainly for the sake of getting them up. However, starting tomorrow, we will have a new objective to start getting up, and I'll need to to cover the video on it pretty soon after. And that is, of course, the wow, I keep forgetting the name of the hero class. I know like what the word is, I just keep forgetting how to pronounce it. It begins with C. But that new rogue hero class from Blackhawk Kingdom is basically what I've been referring to it as. But like the Crozier, I believe it's called. I'm pretty sure I'm still pronouncing it incorrectly. It's something like that. But yeah, that hero class is coming out tomorrow. It's a +3 blue troop. First troop that we're going to have that has a +3 into a color. Currently a priest that, of course, is +2 into a color. And technically Queen Aurora has +1 in all, which is 6. However, yeah, we don't currently have a +3 into one single color, so that'll be the first instance of that. Be interesting to see exactly how that pans out. It's obviously going to be pretty decent. It's not going to be the most meta thing there is in the game, but it's going to be pretty high up there. Yeah, Crozier. It's not that I forget it exactly, it's just I know I'm pronouncing it so incorrectly that that's probably not it. I'll probably need to go look at that up before I go do the video on it later. But pretty sure I'm butchering that word, like I do many words. Wouldn't be the first one, that's for sure. Anyways, hello William, hello Gustavo, hello Isabel, hello Christy, hello Wow, hello Captain, hello everyone else, welcome. It's pronounced Corsair? Okay, I wasn't too far off then. Corsair. I've heard of that word before, it's just not a really common word, obviously. Oh, also, if I randomly lose connection, and there is a thunderstorm currently, just an FYI. Also, this hurricane season hasn't been bad yet. Fingers crossed. Don't jinx it yet. So far, like the last 2 years in September, it's been bad. And that's next month. Hopefully not this year, though. Hopefully we dodge every hurricane this year. Let's see. Take that, throw a key down. Oh, so I still got that cough. Might go back to the doctor soon for that. Might even do that on Saturday instead of a morning stream. Because I believe that's the only time when that local place is open. Or at least open while not being ridiculously busy. Like multi-hour wait busy. Let's see. We'll go do adventure board real quick. I actually got gems today, so we get 120 gems. So a pretty solid amount of free gems. So we got decently lucky. Legendary is actually as high as it goes. There is no mythic for it. So that's the highest you can actually ever get off of it, which is nice. You can also get 100 gems off the top thing as well, though. Hello, Steve! Hello, the Crow! Hello, Stefan! When can you farm Vault Keys the next time? We still have a while before we can farm Vault Keys again. Exact date is... I have no clue. It's sometime in September. Let me go double check real quick. Let's see. I have no clue what the exact date is off the top of my head. But I believe it's sometime in September. Next Vault event is... next patch will probably be out before then. I don't think next patch is doing anything to Vault, so... though you never know. September 13th. Oh, it's Friday the 13th, haha. But September, Friday the 13th. Hopefully no hurricane that day, haha. The unlucky day. But yeah, it's Friday the 13th is of September is the next Vault event. So that's a whole month away at this point. But that is about how long they are apart, about a month. But that seems more like 5 or 6 weeks compared to the previous one. But it is the most valuable event, so it's not always exactly a month. Though they try to do it about once a month. Which I guess they technically did, because we had it earlier in August. So yeah, I guess it's still it's a month. Because we got one like 2 weeks ago. I believe it was. Not last week, but the previous week. Wait, was it last week? No. I forget. I can't remember if it was or not. But yeah, September 13th. And the link for that's in the description, too. I can go copy-paste it real quick. All the event spoiler things. The whole entire website in general is really good for it. But here's the specific one for any of you wondering where on earth I keep getting that. It's also in description. I believe second link in description. Oh, so I still need to update description. A lot of things I still need to update. I think I still have it showing 4.35 despite the fact that 4.5 is actually coming out. So it's going to be like 2 patches ago at this point. Well, now it's only 1 patch ago. Because I always like having a change log there. I normally only have it there like when a patch changes, but lately I've just been keeping it there like the entirety of the patch. Because why not? Like all the change notes of the most recent patch. Well, if nothing else, I guess that helps Switch people. Because that was technically their most recent patch if you're on Switch. However, 4.4 is the most recent patch if you're on any other version other than Switch. Now we see this is not the Switch version. The Switch version is so far behind. I've actually stopped playing the Switch version for the last like week and a half or so. I might pick it back up again. I think Fire Emblem is what made me kind of stop it, among other things. It was just annoying having to keep up with 2 accounts. Also, the fact that we're starting Puzzle Quest 2 stream soon. We are going to be starting Puzzle Quest 2. Stream convinced me the other week that we are indeed going to be starting Puzzle Quest 2 again. When exactly, I don't know. Hopefully Tuesday next week, but no promises exactly on that date. But we will be starting it very soon. Other than, again, maybe I should wait after hurricane season. I was kidding. I don't think we're going to get hit by hurricane this year. I actually haven't really heard much about it. Like as far as hurricane warnings. Maybe I should Google it real quick. But, I don't know. September has been a really bad month for it for the last couple years. But hopefully nothing bad happens. Because I've only been here like 4 years. And 2 of those 4 years we've gotten like pretty bad hurricanes. Though luckily when New Jersey got its worst hurricane, I was not around at that time. When it got Hurricane Sandy. Let's see, I'll take that over. Hurricane Sandy destroyed so many things of my childhood too. It was disappointing. Like on the boardwalk there. What do we even take? Oh, he's just gonna take all the mana there. Take our purple, throw a Sunbird. Yeah, it's been a pretty quiet hurricane season, luckily. Let's hope it always stays like that. Though with how global warming is, I highly doubt it will. But at least we got a lucky year this time around. I just realized, why am I using this for this? This is not the right team for what I'm doing right now. It works, but it's definitely not the right team. But oh well, we can make it work. Actually, maybe we won't be able to make it work. This battle's going to actually be really annoying with what we're running right now. Actually, you know what? We can make this work. I just need to get Mirage Queen up. And then get Skull Alignment. He actually gave it to us. Wow. Okay, we can just use that then. And get ourselves a Skull Spam. We can then just move that over and get another extra... Oh, of course he would summon. When we're running this bad of a setup for it. Oh well. This team is good. Not good for taking out what we're fighting, though. This should be able to get it done. Sunbird can solo, like, an entire team if it feels like it. It might take it a while on higher stats, but it can. It definitely could manage, because it keeps gaining all of its durability back every single time. So you just keep getting it going over and over and over again. It's a really good early game tank, too. It's probably the only tank that doesn't have any score reduction that is actually good as a first slot troop. It's really weird how that is, and such a low rarity, too, for how good it is. It's like almost mythic level good, yet it's only in ultra rare. Works out nicely. Okay, 2 more Sunbirds could kill it. Actually, probably 1 Sunbird into a split damage will get it down. So we'll take that for now, so we can take Red the following turn. Of course, he would deny us, but we'll take that. And that's dead? No, almost. But he doesn't have a summon, so it doesn't matter. Oh, of course. The durability he just gave it allowed it to survive. Luckily, we have Skull Alignment there, so we just kill it with that. That would have been really annoying if otherwise he would have gotten a full summon there. There we go. Weird way to run the end of that there. But hey, we got 100 gems out of it. And then we get another 20 once we get the normal daily thing done. And yeah, that's it as far as those core ones. Still want to go grind out PvP. We are getting an interesting new kind of like Vault Key weapon tomorrow. So we kind of have a replacement for this, however, or for standard key team. Which of course, standard key team is something along the lines of... Where on earth is my key team right now? Where is my key team? Hello, key team? I quite literally have the name of Key Team as the team of it, or as the name of it. There it is. But yeah, this is a pretty standard team for gold farming these days, and has been for, I was almost going to say about a year, though it almost has been a year. This team has been viable and applicable since November of last year. So yeah, it's almost been a year by now. That's 9 months now. This team has been decently viable in the meta, and it's basically skeleton spam team. But we're getting a new kind of like skeleton weapon, key weapon tomorrow. I should probably do a video after tomorrow going over gold farming teams. Maybe later this weekend, or early next week. But, yeah, we're getting a new gold-related weapon. It was going to be excessively overpowered, but they pre-nerfed it before it got released. And they pre-nerfed it so hard that it's almost pointless weapon now. It's like Skeleton Key, with the exact same boost ratio of Skeleton Key now, except it boosts based on your gold and the enemy's gold. So the basic premise of what this weapon is supposed to be used for, in theory, is to use it as a counter to gold farming teams. So if the enemy is using a gold farming team, you can use it against it. The biggest issue with that is most people on their defend aren't really using that kind of team. So it's not really going to be applicable for much. The other big issue with it is it doesn't have extra turn on it. And they were originally going to give it a 1x boost ratio while still boosting based on both teams, which was going to give it ridiculously good damage. But unfortunately, they released it down, or before release, they ended up nerfing it down to 1 in 2 boost ratio, the same thing that Skeleton Key has. And this is going to make it almost pointless because it hits random target and it doesn't have extra turn attached to it. And it's going to get very little extra damage based on the enemy. It is going to get some extra damage, however, if they're not using a gold farming team, the amount of extra damage it's going to be getting is like 10. It's going to be very, very low, so it's going to make almost no difference whatsoever. And that's a bit of a concern because it's probably going to be a useless weapon. I don't believe any of the perks were good enough to really justify it over Skeleton Key. And the amount of extra value you get from Skeleton Key just killing is probably going to outweigh any little bit of extra damage that the other thing has. I guess the other big point of it is the random target thing could potentially be good if you don't necessarily want to hit their last 2 slots. But more often than not, hitting the last 2 slots are perfectly fine things to target. So it doesn't matter as much. Or not the last 2 slots, but I mean the first slot and the last slot. I always keep forgetting that's those 2 instead of the last 2. There's so many things that hit last 2. Let's see, and then we just clip it with that, and then we'll be good to go. Are we getting anything good out of the next faction? No, last I recall. I can go double check. Let me see. Actually, did I even look at the next faction troops yet? So who knows, they could nerf it at any point they feel like it. Let me see, let me go double check. What am I looking for? Right over here. Let's see. Troops. Let's see. Anything good coming next faction? Where are they? City of Thieves. Coming August 30th. Let's see. Oh yeah, I never did look at them. Let me see. The Ultra Rare. Deal magic plus 5 damage to the last 2 enemies. Speaking of things that hit last 2 enemies. If an enemy dies, gain 20 gold. And an extra turn. Interesting. So it's an extra turn option, 11 mana cost. Relatively low damage. Seems more like an early game kind of option. It has Extreme Greed. I believe everything from this kingdom actually has Extreme Greed. And what Extreme... Yes, all 4 of them do have Extreme Greed. And this is a trait probably exclusive to this faction, though they might use it for some other stuff. But most of these have been exclusive to factions. And it grants 4 gold every single time you do a 4 times or 5 times match instead of 2. This isn't really that good of a perk, even at 2 or 4, or even if it's 10. Or maybe if it was 10, it would be a little bit better. Actually, technically, one troop does have 10. That one legend, I believe. But, yeah, any amount of that doesn't really matter. It's pretty useless regardless. And it also has stealthy, so that might help it a little bit. Seems like a kind of like mini skeleton key, kind of, except it hits the last 2. Probably just an early game option, so nothing too good. The legendary, which is probably going to be the most viable thing, as it should be. Deal magic plus 4 damage to an enemy. Gain 3 to all skills. Let's see, how many stats would that be? That sounds like a lot of stats. Hold up. If that says 1 and 5, which is what 0.2 would be, that means if you have 100 gold, that is 20 to all stats. If you have 200 gold, that is 40 to all stats. Well, technically 43 because he has 3. He has 3 to all stats plus the gold boost ratio. So that is pretty decent. So he does a little bit of a poke to an enemy, and then he gains, assuming you're using a proper gold team, he gains at least, even if you're not using Cedric, 23 to all stats. That's not too bad. The only problem is he only hits 1 target. If that was like a double target hitting thing, I would say that's pretty good. But, I don't know. I guess it's going to take him a while to get rolling. That could be an okay early game option. And again, it could be used within gold farming teams. Actually, a lot of things within this faction seems to be related to gold farming, which is kind of interesting. But no, or at least in that kind of context of a team. But, I don't know. It seems kind of average, actually. I don't know, you can get that pretty high if you use like 2 Cedrics, but then he's like your entire team, so maybe that wouldn't really be worth it. He is red-purple though, so he doesn't have any confliction with Cedric, if you were to use it with 1 or multiple. Also, he has a unique trait of gain 10 gold when he takes damage, which is not going to be that useful at all. So yeah, he's going to be pretty underwhelming. Actually, his legendary trait is really useless. Might help him some to get gold, but generally you're already going to be running a Greed or a Leprechaun or something on that kind of team anyway, so you're going to probably have enough gold on your own just from those kind of troops in a gold farming related team. Next up, we have the Rare, which steals all enemy gold, creates 6 purple. So yeah, this kingdom is really heavy on gold. Creates 6 purple gems, boosted by gold stolen by a maximum of 16 gems. Of course, they put a cap on it because they don't want it to be extremely broken. That wouldn't really be extremely broken. Unless they had like a greed that could feed up all their gold and you could deliberately farm it because the AI would be dumb and just keep doing it. But it has a 3-to-1 boost ratio based on that. So that means to be able to get the max amount of spawn, you would have to get, you'd have to use it on a person who currently has 30 gold? Really? That's it? Yeah, the enemy would have to have 30 gold in order to get a 16 spawn. I see why they put a cap on it then. But yeah, you would need them to have 30 gold. And then you would get the 3-to-1 boost ratio to spawn 10. And he does a default of 6, so that'd be the full 16 that you would end up getting. He uses blue-brown, so I guess that could be a a purple mana generation troop. In some situations, depend on how you would need it. Though it's very rare that the enemy would get that much gold that quick unless they were specifically using Leprechaun or some kind of other similar equivalent. And other than that, what was the last one? The common. And the common here has... hold up. I just realized something. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, the legend doesn't have a unique ability, but I was reading the wrong one for a second. Wow, that is such a unique, such a weak unique ability on that faction legend. But anyways, the common troop, or the epic troop, I mean, I already went over the common. Maybe that's why I'm confused there as far as looking at the wrong thing. But as far as the epic troop, this creates 6 goals, boosted by gold. Hold up. That's actually insanely good. That's weird. The epic troop from this faction is going to be the strongest thing. But yeah, the only really viable thing, I guess, is the epic, which I didn't even say yet. It creates 6 goals, boosted by gold, up to a maximum of 14, with a 0.2 boost ratio, that looks like. So that means 1 in 5. I'm not sure why they have it written as 0.2 instead of 1 in 5, because they wrote the other one as 1 in 3, so that seems really weird. But I assume 0.2 means 1 in 5. It makes sense based on these values. But wow, that's really good then. So how many would you even need for a 14 skull spam? If it is indeed 1 in 5, that is very low as far as how many you would need. That's 4, 8, right, 8? Yes, math. That seems about right. 8, yeah, because so you would then need 40 then. If you had 40 gold or higher, you would do a 14 gem spawn. That is not that bad at all for 13 mana cost. It's a blue-purple. Purple would have conflict with our skull spammers. Blue, not so much. There aren't that many good blue skull spammers. Actually, there's almost no blue skull spammers. Also, you could theoretically use this in a non-gold related team. Most skull spam teams that are looping a lot, like for example, Quillen, Divine Ishbala combo. Oh no, it might actually be used in that team. It's gonna get even stronger. No! But in the context of like a team like that, you're probably gonna have enough gold already just off of your extra turns from spamming that you can simply just use that on your team. That could have a lot of potential. One other thing that makes it even better on a skull spam team, and just with itself in general, is it does have a 20% dodge. It also gains 4 gold still off of every extra turn. So on this particular troop, that's probably going to be pretty useful. Just because that's how you're going to be getting all the gold, basically, for this team. And you're not going to need that many extra turns at all. A normal extra turn is, what, 4 gold, right? If you take it 4 times. So that's 8 gold total because it's giving an additional 4. You're only going to need about 4 extra turns then, 4 or 5, and you're pretty much good to go. That is going to get rolling very, very quickly, especially since 4 to 5 extra turns gets done pretty quickly with 2 double skull spammers. So it could have a lot of potential in various double skull spam teams, because we've been missing a gap for blue for a while, and that will finally fill that much needed gap of blue skull spam. And it works really well in basically any skull spam team. 14 skull spawn is almost never going to miss. Also, you don't necessarily need the full amount of gold, but having not the full amount of gold for its requirement, which is, what, 40 or so, will make it so it does slightly less. However, slightly less is still good. And if it only spawns 12 skulls or 10 skulls, it's likely going to hit if there's already like 12 plus skulls on the board, so should be pretty consistent. Though do keep in mind it can overwrite Doom skulls, however it can't overwrite normal skulls. Does anyone still gold farm with a team? PvP seems to be the best way to get gold. Doing PvP while using a gold farming team still, I believe, slightly outbeats using just PvP gold farm. Some people also just do PvP gold farm. Depends which way you really want to go, but using like Skeleton Key and mid-range teams still, I believe, is overall quicker. It's because it ends up getting several hundred extra free gold on top of what you're already doing, and more often than not can win at about the same pace as normal teams. There are some teams that it wins a bit slower against, and Barrier in particular is actually a mechanic that it does go slower against. But I don't think it's going to be as annoying this battle. And let's get our gold there. That one's pretty quick. It's not the absolute quickest win you'll ever see in PvP, but against most mid-range stuff, it could just one-shot them. And one-shotting makes it really quick like that. If it can one-shot, it wins in under a minute. And then you get all the normal gold for the PvP while still getting max gold capacity for the thing, which ends up giving quite a bit extra gold. Of course, there is a bit of a gold discrepancy between taking that or that, but you're making it up with the extra gold that you end up getting. Not all of it sometimes. Like this particular battle, we're not making up the entire gap, but it makes out a good majority of the gap with the 200 gold plus all boost ratios that apply to it. All right, he's going to dust level us there. That actually has no effect on this current battle, so that's good. So we don't need to worry about that. Now he's key to key. And the reason I'm specifically taking the mid-range battles is so Skeleton Key can kill them in one shot. Most 3 trophy battles it will not be able to one-shot. So we're doing that deliberately. There's not always as big of a gold gap, but sometimes there is. Ever since they kind of fixed it as well, there's been less of a gold gap. So maybe it's a little bit less applicable these days. But there's normally battles that don't have as big of a gold gap. Like this one isn't too bad. The fact that this is fire bombs obviously makes it pretty quick too. Another one was divine meta, almost guarantee. If they were using Moon Rabbit like that as a revenge battle, that was almost guarantee Moon Rabbit, the really annoying Quill Divine Spala team. So it's not always worth taking 3 trophies, just because some of them are really ridiculously annoying. Because most 3 trophies, not always, but more often than not, are using the most meta things in the game, which obviously end up taking quite a bit more time compared to just running against the 2 trophy battles, which are often much easier. What color is the new class weapon? Blue. It is blue. Pure blue, 14 mana cost. And right as they say that, a 3 trophy is actually Firebomb as well. That's funny. That is funny. Alright, we'll grab that. So few brown on the board right now, gosh. Again, another one of those in there. Key to key and should be good to go. Is that enough damage? Yes. Only problem is killing that now. Though all we need is one more key and he'll be dead, and he's dead. Also, one more skull also would have done it. Do I think PS5 will be awesome? I don't know. I've never really owned many of the PlayStations. I only really ever owned PlayStation 2 like ages upon ages back. And that wasn't even like when it was like the main console. I bought it like after the fact when it was ultra cheap. Mainly just for Guitar Hero. I don't believe I played much else on it. But no, I never really cared for any console that isn't Nintendo. Mainly because the exclusives on most every other console aren't normally kind of games that I play. More often than not. Like the kind of stuff that's on most of them just isn't my kind of gaming normally. What do we take here? Let's take that for now. Yeah, it'll hopefully be pretty good. Skeleton Key's actually not enough damage here. Luckily, actually. Oh, we're frozen on first slot. Whoops. Wait, did I just take the 3 trophy? Why do your stats seem so much higher? Though Key can still maneuver around it, just slightly harder for it. I think he's still in kill range though. Yep, and we re-get our summon. He's gonna kill our mana generator though, unfortunately, but I think that's still enough to kill. Yeah, it is. Was that 2 trophy or 3 trophy? Okay, that was 3 trophy. I was gonna say, there's no way that was 2 trophy. You can tell just by how their stat lines are higher or lower. Also, hello Core, and hello Heavy Gamer Zone. Welcome, welcome. Also, hello Matt and Stefan and Sarcastic if I didn't already say hi. Let's see. Are we getting... Oh, they might have already mentioned that. Hello, Super Scott. Welcome. Does anyone still go... Oh, they might have already read that. I'm reading it in such a weird order. Let's see. How much damage can Key do? Skeleton Key can normally do up to... let's see. Am I using Thief? I believe currently it caps at about 130 damage or so, realistically. You can theoretically get it higher under certain circumstances, but in the context of PvP, if you do it with this team, with the proper hero class, I believe the highest you can get with it... Oh, no. You can get it with Brown, too. So, wait, is it 135, then? Never mind, it's throwing it off slightly because of that. It's somewhere around, the 130 range is the highest you can really get with it. And that's if you're using Thief Hero class, because that gives Brown weapon bonus. You can get the +2 magic off a dagger. And that assumes all other magic bonuses within the game. But yeah, it with Thief is the absolute highest. Let me go double check what that is real quick. Let me see. Class, Thief. We're going to get no class XP for this because you already have Thief maxed. But whatever this is the realistic highest you can get it at. And set it to dagger for the 2 extra magic. And it should give extra to Brown, right? Almost guarantee it does. Yeah, I guess those perks are correct, kind of, not really. But we'll keep it as is because I'm using it kind of for something else for that setup. But, yes, the weapon is Brown. Wow, that text is so small. Why is this just so small? You remember it being bigger in the past. They have had text shrinking, though. Like, whenever you try putting it in, like, a bigger box or a smaller box, like, a lot of text in a smaller box in this game, it's coded in a way where it, like, shrinks it down. It's been an issue with this game for a while now. It's just how they currently have tech set up. Okay, he might destroy us. This is that really annoying defend team. It's one of the best defend teams in the game right now. It's one of the reasons I try avoiding 3 trophies. But whatever his damage is right now is about the max you can normally have on it. So we have 33, so that's 133 damage. And he just beat us in 1 turn. Did he really just infinite loop us? This is why I don't face this team. You can like kill out half your team or your entire team in like a single turn without even trying. But let me go check this again. Yeah, 133 damage because it's going to gain an extra 2 magic as soon as we start the battle. 133 is the realistic max that Skeleton Key can do. Theoretically, it can go a bit higher than that, obviously, if you add more Cedrics or in the context of Delves. Speaking about Delves, we're probably going to switch over to Delves in a moment. But, yeah, its realistic max is 133 damage, as far as in a PvP context, which is pretty solid. And that's if you're using the correct hero class and everything. And that also assumes you have max, all the current magic bonuses that you can have. Let's see. We'll throw Key. Yeah, 132. That sounds about right. So you're probably just missing one of the 10-star Magic Kingdoms then. If you were using it with Thief or something similar that could get still the full bonus for it. But yeah, like the low 130 is about the highest it realistically gets. In the context of fighting other players. Because most teams wouldn't use more than 1 Cedric. It's really hard to try to put more than one Cedric into a team. Anyways, let's go head over to Delves. And after the first Delve, we'll go hand out a code. Need to go farm out 3 to 4 of them. Probably just do 3 for now and delay or do the other one later. But let's go head over to Warrens, of course. Do we have a Greed in place? No, we do not. Or not a Greed, a Cedric. Hey, Key Team. Do I have Key Team set right now? Yes, I do. Perfect. Oh, I'm still using it with Warden, actually. Oh, yeah, because I was still trying to get it leveled. Warden, you're almost there. Come on. 7 more levels. I don't want to get level it now, though. I'm in no rush to get it maxed because I'm mainly using it with the Truffle team. So I wanted to naturally get maxed through Truffles, which I also throw on this faction, which is why I just keep using Warden. Just so I don't have to keep switching it here. I don't know. In that case, I guess we'll still just use Warden then, just so I don't have to keep switching it over and over again. It's perfectly fine in the context of this team. It's not the best option, but, you know, it gets it done. Obviously, there's much better options. Main thing being Thief there. Thief's the absolute best thing that you can use for this. It's one of the rare instances where the weapon is actually best with the hero class that it comes from. So it ends up working out pretty decently. But, yeah, ends up working out nice. Still with pretty much anything there. It's good enough, this team, that you can pretty much run whatever hero class you feel like, whichever one you want to level. It's obviously slightly slower with less optimal hero classes like non-Thief. But it normally makes almost no difference. Also, there's a 20 gems for 100 kills for today. The Truffle Shuffle. Which path is better, bottom or top? Looks like we take the top half this time around, and then just cut through the middle, and then take the 1.3 room there. Yeah, I could use Oracle for this if I wanted to. I'm kind of leveling 3 hero classes simultaneously right now. Warden, War Priest, and Oracle. So I'm focusing more on Oracle and Warden at the moment. War Priest we technically don't need for anything. The only unique thing that War Priest does that is somewhat okay is it has a 50% chance per turn to stun. But other than that, it has no viable option. It basically does nothing if you don't count that as an option. Hello, Kevin Becker. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How many common ingots do I have? Oh yeah, I have been collecting them. How many do I have? It's probably a pretty large number at this point. What's the easiest way to check? Probably going to the collection would be the easiest way. We have 8,697. We almost have over 9,000! But yeah, we have 8,697. That is quite a lot of common ingots. Pretty decent. I'm pretty sure there's people that have over like 20,000 because they play so much PvP. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some person that plays so much PvP that they have over 100,000. There's someone out there that has it, I'm almost guarantee. Some people play a lot of PvP. There are people that play like 8+ hours of PvP a day. I don't think I've ever played that much. Except for like the one time I tried going for leaderboard. I don't think I've naturally played that much, even in a single day of PvP. Maybe the game in general, but just PvP I don't think I've ever have. I think the average most I ever normally do is like 3 to 4 hours. In a day, obviously. Let's see. I'll go for that. Actually, I can already kill it. Just take skull. Okay, let's go get the Cedric room. Cedric room ends up increasing our gold by a ridiculously good amount. It's actually going to give us 600 gold value there after that. You know what? I think I might go to the doctor's tomorrow morning. I'm still contemplating that. You guys won't mind if the stream's a little bit later, right? It'll probably start around noon, because I don't believe they open till 8. And then I should be able to get seen almost immediately. But yeah, I think I'm going to go for that. Well, who knows? Maybe I could even get back before 10. But yeah, it's probably going to be closer to 11 or noon. That's not like too much later than we normally do it. But yeah, I think I am to go to the doctor's tomorrow. Because this cough has still been persisting, and I've actually had shortness of breath recently. Which is not good. But yeah, I'll probably just go back tomorrow. And double check on that. Though I always hate going to the doctors. We definitely need better healthcare system. Wasting money on that just seems like such a waste of money. Compared to just, you know, doing normal stuff to stay healthy. Just hate having to go to the doctors just to get some prescriptions that I can't get otherwise. Like, the prescriptions I'm about to get would, if they were over the counter, would only cost like 20 bucks or 30 bucks or maybe like 50 bucks tops. Yet you have to pay like an over $100 doctor visit thing just to be able to get a prescription to get the medication you need. At least here in America, where they penny and dime you for everything. Let's see, we'll throw that down. Yeah, of course health is more important than streaming. But then I'm losing money in 2 different ways. Which I always hate. Hello September Black, welcome! If Gems of War is in real life, what would be the 3 things you wouldn't want? I'm not sure exactly how to answer that question. Is the class that's coming out tomorrow a viable one? Yes, but also no. Yes. It's going to be above average. Though it's going to be very niche. It's going to be only used for teams that generate a lot of blue. But if you get a blue storm off of something, you're basically going to have infinite blue for whatever team you use it on. It's going to have +3 blue, and that's not even counting banner. It alone has +3 blue attached to it. So it's going to be really viable. I'm probably going to grind it out a lot this weekend. Oh yeah, we have the clicks. I have the controller thingy. GameCube controller. Well, a USB GameCube controller. It's not actually a GameCube controller. It's a standard USB controller that's kind of made for Switch, so you can use it for anything. And it just is in a shell of a GameCube. It basically functions as one, but works a lot better on PC, even though it's made for Switch. I actually these days use it more. It's kind of funny. I use this controller more for PC than I do for Switch, even though I initially bought it for the Switch. It's kind of funny. I've mostly been using actual GameCube controllers for Switch. That and the Joy-Cons occasionally. The main thing I like about Joy-Cons is there are games where the D-pad for it is really nice. Because the D-pad, instead of being an actual pad, is 4 separate buttons. And there's a couple of games where that's really good. The main 2 most noteworthy ones I found so far is Fire Emblem and Mario Maker 2. Having a D-pad for like that is really, really nice. I would probably use it for more stuff than that. The only big issue is any game that you specifically need a stick for, it is awful. Because the left stick on all Joy-Cons have like a drift issue. So I believe they are doing free repairs for that now. I'm not sure if I'll send mine in. I'm not sure if it includes shipping though. Because if it doesn't include shipping, it's not exactly free. And if shipping's like 10-20 bucks, not sure if it'd really be worth it just to fix drifting on the stick. But I'll need to look into that because I have heard something about that. Because of the lawsuit that was almost going to be done against them. Because of so many people complaining about the joystick drift. I believe they're doing free repairs on that. But I'll need to double check to see if it's like completely free, including shipping. If it is, I might as well send them in. Well, I mean, I won't be able to use the Joy-Cons probably for a couple weeks, but it's not going to matter much. Do need to go look into that. Yeah, they were almost going to get sued big time for that. I believe they fixed it in all more recent Joy-Cons, but all of their older Joy-Cons, since release, have had like really extreme drift on them. Like, obviously controllers drift after a while, like after about a year or 2 of use. But the Joy-Cons would drift after like a few weeks to like a month or 2 of use. They drifted way quicker than the average controller, like way, way quicker. And they're pretty expensive to buy new ones. It's like 60 bucks or something for a pair. They're super expensive. You can get like a quality controller for like more, or for cheaper than like a set of Joy-Cons. And most of the features that they have, you rarely ever even use. And it's one of the reasons why they're so expensive. But anyways, let me go ahead to the code. I did say after the first faction I would. And it is first faction completed for now. I just need to figure out where we are in the codes. I believe we were on this one, which also reminds me, I need to go ask Salty for more codes. Because I only have enough to last us to like Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. So hopefully she'll get them to us on Monday. Because that's normally when she's around the most. And I can remind her on stream on Mondays as well. Unless she's going on a business trip. I don't believe she's going on a business trip this time around though. Where's my code thingy thing? I'll put it right over here. Wait, why is it not, Wait, did I just use it? Brain fade. Did I just even put it in right now? Short-term memory, go. Yeah, I used it. Wow, that is ultra short-term memory. But anyways, guys, there you guys go. It's just like such a habit of using it almost every single day, or actually literally every single day. I almost forget sometimes, gosh. But there you guys go. There's the redeem code. Use it on gemsofwar.com, read the game code section. Invite code can be found in the settings menu. Redeem code's right over there in chat. Click copy paste on the random numbers and letters. And go to that link and same place as always, gemsofwar.com. And yeah, get same reward as always. 2 treasure maps, 1 gem key, 200 souls, 2,500 gold. Only works on the PC mobile of the game. Does not work on console versions. But there you guys go. And let's go back to the grind. Already got all that done. So let's just finish out factions then. And keep accumulating our shards. We currently have 10,492. We should have about 12,000, 13,000, probably closer to 13,000 by next faction. Oh, then again, we're doing that Tuesday faction, so we'll probably have about 12,000 by then. And then we'll get a lot from that event because we're going to be, well, we're going to be burning through a lot, but we're also going to be gaining a lot because we're going to be throwing down like 1,500 gems or something probably on it. So have quite a few going into that way. Who knows, maybe we'll even do, since we're kind of on a streak of doing a bunch of pure factions, maybe we'll even do it for Hall of Guardians. Though then again, next patch is bringing something that is making delves easier. Ooh, shiny, shiny. I don't believe it has been publicly mentioned what it is, so I can't say what it is. But they have been mentioning 4.5 would bring something like that, and it did bring something like that. It's not the best of options that we could have had for it. However, it will definitely make factions easier. So, yeah, I'll be able to mention what that is in the near future, if they would ever start showing spoilers for it. I'm not sure why they haven't yet. I believe the beta is done. We haven't mentioned anything on the beta for like 9-10 days now. We mentioned a lot on it like at the beginning of it when we were testing it. But also, we don't know if they ever fixed some of like the really important stuff that we wanted them to fix. Mostly from a don't be like extremely greedy perspective. Because their publishers always kind of keep pushing it, or I assume it's their publishers, keep pushing like mechanics that try to milk money just a little bit more. But yeah, hopefully they fixed the biggest issue that next patch has. We'll find out soon. But next patch is probably early next month. I don't think it's going to make it before the end of this month. I'm pretty sure it won't. It seems more like a early September release, though no official date has been given. Soon TM is when it's coming. But, yeah, no official date on it yet. We don't really know. But we'll know soon. Anyways, please be Cedric room. No, it's not Cedric. Okay, let me just run Truffles then. Where's my Truffle team? We can run normal Truffle here, right? It's a green and... Hold up, can we run normal Truffle here? We can't, because I can't use Goblin... Wait, what was the Truffle team that we would normally run here? Was it pure blue? No, we can't run that. Hold up, what was the Truffle team I ran here? I'm actually forgetting all of a sudden. I know it was similar to this. It wasn't this, though, because we can't run Forest Troll, right? No, we definitely can't run Forest Troll. What was the alternative? I can't use Mirage Queen. I can't use Forest Troll. Wow, why do I forget all of a sudden? I'll just use Key Team again. It's not that big a deal. We could run Key against everything. If we really need to. Why am I forgetting all of a sudden? Yeah, this is a green-yellow restriction faction. It's definitely not the normal team, obviously. Because we wouldn't be able to use it here. I sounded like a disclaimer. Oh, what I say for codes? Yeah, I kind of like say it the exact same way every single time. I don't have to say that whenever I give out codes. It's just such a habit at this point. It's like I always just say it that way. I could just say, hey, here's a code. Go use it. It's just natural for me to say like the whole spill of it. Because someone will almost always ask, hey, why won't this work on consoles? Or where do I use this code? Or something else. So that enters everything if I say it like that every single time. So I don't need to say anything afterwards. Was it Doom Mace? I don't believe I used Doom Mace in first thought on it, did I? I guess I could have. Yeah, I guess I blocked it on brown in order to go for that. I might want to find a better option for that, though. But yeah, that does sound right. I might need to go mess with that one day and try finding the better option for it. I want something quicker than that. I really want to get this delve down to... If we're going to have to deal with doing pure faction for this delve for a while, I want to get this to be actually viable and get it down to like a 5-minute per delve. Though that would have to be like almost 30 seconds per battle, though, if we were to get it down that low. But I do want to try aiming to get it that low if we can. Because it would make things a lot quicker. If we could start 5-minuting or lowering this delve in general. Because I believe on average it normally takes me 8 to 10 minutes per delve cycle. Doing it where it's currently leveled at with various teams. And ideally I want to try halving that. Maybe not exactly half, but if we can get it to like 5 or 6 minutes, that would be the ideal goal. I believe we were able to get some versions of Truffle down to about 7 minutes consistently. Around that area. But I'd still want it a bit lower than that. Oh, also I forgot to let him move me back to place in the first battle. Whoops. It's not too big a deal. It makes his team tankier, however, it makes his team slightly slower. Oh, he died. Okay, that's actually a big liability. We don't have gold start anymore for the rest of this delve. That's an issue, but also not as much of an issue, because now he's not blocking our mana, so that in a way, that's kind of good. However, we no longer have a gold start, meaning we need to cast Egg Thief multiple times before we can do anything. And there's no way we can repair that. Though then again, that one treasure room in top right has greed on it. That 4 times greed. That could theoretically fix it some if we wanted to go for it. But I don't think it's worth going for it just to get it right now. But it is kind of funny. That room could... Oh, never mind. That's not the room I thought it was. Never mind. We can't repair it. Yeah, I was been meaning to get like a Word document that keeps like 50 teams in it. I ended up mentioning that when this most recent patch came out, where with all the team customizations and everything. I was like, hey, you can just make a Word document, and you don't even need to have a team limit anymore. You can just keep every team you ever want and just keep like 100 teams there or something. I never ended up building up something like that, though. I don't know how I would bother to organize something like that if I was to do it. Like, if you put that many teams there, that's going to be a lot of hard teams to follow. Like, where everything is. You'd have to have a really good organization for it. And you would also have to keep it updated. Otherwise, if you didn't, then you might have stuff that's old meta kept there. And the meta keeps shifting, and to have to check every single team constantly might get annoying. But, yeah, I might need to do that eventually. I haven't really had as much of a need for it because I normally remember everything that I normally use in a given time. Occasionally I forget though. Normally just like one single troop of a specific team if I do forget slightly. Or maybe a specific banner that I use for some. Banner choice does matter quite a bit. However, there are quite a few teams that can run with a wide range of banners. And thinking of which one is the exact optimal is hard occasionally for some teams. Just because there's multiple things that are really good for it. It also depends on what playstyle you want to do for a specific team. But the team that we're currently using runs a really standard meta for it, though. It's +2 red, +1 brown. The +2 red is to make sure that Egg Thief goes up, and the +1 brown is to make sure our hero goes up. There's technically a banner that would be better, and that is +2 green, +1 brown. And that's mainly because the excess green would feed into greed. The main reason why that is not used is I believe the minus on it isn't good. That or it doesn't exist. One or the other. But actually, let me go double check that. I don't believe it exists. I believe a +2 brown, +1 green exists, but I don't think a +2 green, +1 brown exists. If it does, the reason we might not use it is because it's -1 purple. Because it doesn't matter if we minus blue or yellow, but it does matter if we minus the... well, actually, this one minuses purple too, so I guess it doesn't matter as much. Let me double check. Does it actually exist? Have I been using the wrong banner for this for all this time? Because that banner probably came in pretty recently, if it exists. Yeah, it did come in pretty recently. Never mind. Oh, no, but it's minus red, that's why. Aha. It needs to not be minus red. It can't be minus red. Otherwise, because that's the color that Egg Thief needs. If that was any minus other than red, that would be the banner we need. But because it's minus red, it's not. Because that minus is one of the most important troops, which is Egg Thief. But yeah, if that was a minus into literally any other color, ideally not purple either, but literally any other color other than red would have been perfect for that. Yeah, the banner kind of exists, but the problem is it's minus red. If that was any other color, it would work. And something like this doesn't work because you specifically need +2 green so that you can one turn it with a 5 times when you go for your Egg Thief. Yeah, this is still the most optimal banner for this team. +2 red, +1 brown, -1 purple. Although ideally it'd be -1 yellow or blue. Though purple isn't really used that much. It's only used for greed. And actually after greed dies, if it does die, you don't even need purple anymore technically. Theoretically. Oh, so we need to take that over. Grab that over as well. Go get that. Take that down. Grab a grain right over there. We are diseased though, which is really annoying because it keeps slowing down our accumulation of mana. Disease is normally not too strong of a mechanic, but it can be really annoying when you're expecting to gain a certain amount of mana and then it just halves the amount of mana. More often than not, it doesn't make or break a battle. However, there are very niche instances where it definitely can. Okay, which one do we go for here? I guess we go for this one. It doesn't really matter at this point which one of these two we go for. Either or is going to end up working out decently. If anyone still has any other questions, let me know. And yeah, just to reconfirm, I guess tomorrow morning I will be going to the doctor's then. So stream probably won't start until like noon or a little bit later then. Which isn't going to be too much later. And now once we do start streaming, we're going to be grinding very, very hard at the new event. I do want to max out this new hero class. It's going to be my next goal to get it to 100. As soon as that comes out, our next goal hero class related wise is to get it to 100. We're obviously not going to do that this weekend, though theoretically we could. So it's going to take a lot of time. I don't believe I'm going to dedicate that much time this weekend to it. It would end up taking... How many hours would that take? It would take... Let's see, if I buy up to tier 5 to go get the emoji thing and everything, though I might skip on doing that and just grind it all out manually. If we grind all of it out manually, it is going to take around 28 hours. That's a lot of time to split across 3 days. That means we'd have to, on average, grind for 9 to 10 hours per day. And that is why I don't want to do it in a single weekend without actually buying it up. It would save us a lot of gems, but that's a lot of time. 9 hours per day? Or maybe even 10 hours per day? That is a really long grind time. just to get it maxed. And keep in mind, this next hero class actually is viable to get maxed. It has give all rogues 1 extra magic every extra turn, and it itself counts as a rogue, as well as what's it called? The things that it's used for, because it's a Black Hawk Kingdom typing, and almost the entirety of the Black Hawk Kingdom are rogues. So you're going to be able to get a lot of benefit from having that maxed. But I don't know, we'll see if we end up buying any. I really don't want to buy XP this time around if we can help it. Maybe we try aiming for the 14-hour mark and just don't get its final perk, even though its final perk is decent, and just manually grind out the entirety of the final perk. Because that's a lot more manageable. 5 hours per day for 3 days. That's a lot more manageable than trying to do 10 hours a day. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, I'll probably just do level 70. We will start working it up to 100. But I'm not in a direct rush to get it up to 100. It's not going to be ultra viable for much with the rogue bonus. It might be into the future with some rogue teams. But I don't believe it's going to have any currently broken rogue team. Probably into the future it will, but I don't think initially it'll have anything that's meta. Like, it'll have stuff that will work, but nothing that will be ultra quick. Yeah, 5 hours a day would end up getting it done, so we'll probably just do it that way. 5 hours a day, get it to level 70 without spending any gems. And the reason I don't want to spend any gems is because I'm going to burn through so many gems when the new faction comes out. Because I'll be doing the Tuesday faction, and then I'll also be doing the new Friday one. And that's not next week, but the following week. So we're going to burn through a ridiculously huge amount of gems at that point. We're going to burn through around 3,000 gems, if not more. Which means by that point we should have 28,000 gems, meaning we'll have 25,000 plus, which is exactly what would be my goal. So I think this will be the first hero class in a while where we don't spend a single gem on it. Because they still haven't buffed the class events. Class events have the worst payout of any event in the entire game. It's one of the reasons you see me never really doing them on Thursdays, though we don't even have one on Thursday right now. You only see me really doing the free battles if we end up doing it. And, yeah, it just has really bad returns. The only reason you occasionally see me buying up the packs is because it saves time of having to grind it out on the weekend of when it gets released. So I can show the video a bit quicker with it actually leveled. But that's like the only reason. If I wasn't doing this channel, I would pretty much never spend a single gem on hero classes. Just because it's such an excessive waste of gems. And this time around, I believe I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to do some extra grind. It does mean we probably won't be able to show it properly until Sunday. Oh, who knows? Maybe I'll just get it to level 40 real quick and then kind of show it for Friday, later on Friday. The only problem is it doesn't have +3 blue if you don't get to 70. That's kind of the main gimmick of this hero class, is that it has +3 blue. Well, +2 blue is almost the same as +3 blue at that point. Though not exactly the same. And there we go, we got 2 more. We'll do 1 more. And then we'll go and head over to ending out the stream. Oh, we got a really bad layout. A really, really bad layout. Wow, what even is this delve? This is horrifically bad. Everything that we have set up here. Okay, well, I guess we'll make a little lasso loop. Just stick with key team for now. Okay, we'll grab our gold, grab a green over. Take a, oh, what do I want? Take a green over. Grab the other green. Oh yeah, I need to make sure that our greed is not in first slot by the end of this battle. Oh, oops. I need him not to cast again. Ideally. Please don't. Get an extra turn here. No, don't cast, don't cast. Okay, we're fine. Please don't cast. Good. Okay. We got it in correct order without him doing a time-wasting ability. And now we just go and make our lasso loop. There's going to be a really bad multiplier. It's going to be like a 3.5 multiplier or something. Or sorry, 2.5 because it has the 1 less multiplier. It's going to be really, really low. Normally it should be at least like 3 times if not higher. But it's going to be way lower than that this time around because of how bad the rooms are. It's almost the worst I've ever even seen the multipliers. Actually, I believe it's the lowest it could possibly be. Hold up. No, it could be a little bit lower. One of the tier 3 rooms can be a 1.15, and I don't believe either is. But I believe it can only be 0.5 lower than it currently is. We got excessively bad luck on this. Because let me see. The lowest this room can be is 0.15, and that's exactly what it is. Lowest this can be, I believe, is this a tier 3 room? So yeah, the lowest this can be is 0.15, but it's a 0.2. That's a little bit higher than the lowest. Lowest this could be is 0.15. Lowest this could be is 0.15, which it is. Lowest this could be is a 0.2, which it is. And the lowest this can be is 1.5, and it is. So the only two rooms that aren't the lowest that could possibly be. Oh, and the lowest that could be is 1.25. Oh wait, did they add a 1.2 tier 4 room? I actually forget. Did they? I actually completely forgot off the top of my head. But yeah, I believe the only two that isn't the absolute lowest is this, which can be. Oh, never mind. Sorry, that one is. Wait, is that the only room then that isn't the lowest? There's only one room, unless that one can be 1.2. I actually completely forget if tier 4 can be 1.2. I don't believe it can for this delve. I believe there are delves where it can be. I don't think this delve can. So yeah, this room could be a 1.5, and I believe that's the only room that can actually be lower. Every other room is the lowest possible multiplier that it could be. So that is extremely unlucky and unlikely to happen. I think that's the first time I've actually ever seen it. I don't think I've ever seen an entire delve with the absolute lowest values, which this one isn't either. It's one off. It's one room off from being the absolute lowest values it can be, but it came pretty close. I think we have gotten delves that have had the absolute highest value before, though. I don't believe I've ever had one with the absolute lowest. It's because there's a lot less combinations that could be the absolute lowest compared to the absolute highest, which is the reason why. Which is actually beneficial, because the chance of you getting the absolute highest is slightly higher than getting the absolute lowest. Just because of how there's more higher rooms than lower rooms. Which is actually one nice thing about those. What do we take here? We'll take that down. Do you recommend farming delves at 20 or 90? It depends what you're trying to do out of it. Ideally 20, but the biggest caveat to 20 is you can never do the Tuesday events for that, specifically for that faction. That's less and less relevant as time goes on, because as more and more factions come into the game, the longer the cycle is for the events. However, if you keep a delve at level 20, you will never be able to finish out the Tuesday event for that delve, because the highest you can ever go is level 20. So you deliberately have to make sure you invade when you're doing, if you bother doing the faction at all during the Tuesday event, when you're doing on a level 20 delve. You have to do every room except the boss room and then run away every single time. That's not how you do the actual delve, though. When you're doing the actual delve, you should do every single room and then go down to 1 times multiplier and then do the entirety of level 20 delve and keep repeating it. However, when you do it for a Tuesday event, you go and do every single room except the boss room and then run away and rinse and repeat. So you're doing it 2 different ways depending on if it's the faction event or if it's the if it's just a normal daily. But yeah, level 20 delves go super ultra quick and still give the full amount of loot. The only big issue with them is, despite their really quick speed on a daily basis, they make it so you can never do the Tuesday event for the faction, at least the full completion. You could do it to some degree, but you would never be able to complete out the entire event unless you spend a ridiculous amount of gems, which wouldn't really be worth it. I think you would only get up to like tier 3, or like to the 3rd reward or something, if you end up doing it just with the camping at level 20. But it'd still give you something. But I don't know. I would probably say level 80, 90 is a little bit better. Though it is quite a bit more time consuming keeping it at that level range. It will allow you to do the completely do the Tuesday event for the faction without needing to really worry about it. The reason I specifically have it at 110, there's 2 reasons. One is at the time I needed it for a extra stats, but the other reason is 110 is the lowest highest that you can have a delve. What I mean by that is it's the highest you can go while still having it low, in that you can still do the entirety of the Tuesday event. Occasionally you'll get Val Ravens placed on a Tuesday event, where you end up doing the 90th room, or, you know, level 90 room, and you end up getting a Val Raven on the level 90 room. And when you end up getting the Val Raven on the level 90 room, you can then go and technically go all the way to 110. And that's the reason why I currently have it at 110, the main reason. It's the highest that you will ever realistically go on a Tuesday event. So that's why I have it at 110. But yeah, you can camp it at level 20 or 90 or something similar. You can even camp it at 80. as long as you make sure you play the Tuesday event in a way that you don't accidentally complete out the level 80 room. But yeah, the main places you stop at are 20, 80, 90, and 110. 20 is the lowest, but it prevents you from completely finishing out Tuesday events whenever it is for the faction. 80 is the lowest that you can do to realistically complete out the event to its full completion, though you have to be very careful not to accidentally complete out the 80th room on the Tuesday events that the faction does occur. 90 is the same thing, but you don't worry as much about accidentally going over, and occasionally do those extra 2 delves, which isn't really worth it that much. But if you're in endgame with endgame stats, the 90 compared to 110 isn't really that big of a difference. But yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Let me know. But yeah, next stream will be tomorrow around noon Eastern Standard Time, give or take a little bit. Depends how the doctor visit goes, how long the line is there, and if I end up doing something while I'm out already. Just to get it done in the morning instead of having to do it later. But yeah, we should be starting around noon after I get all that done in the morning. And yeah, we'll go from there. And of course, we'll have the same stream tomorrow night, except we'll probably be grinding out the new hero class like crazy. And I'll be starting at the same time as always, 1 hour prior to now tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we'll go from there. But any other questions? Because after this battle, we'll probably be wrapping up for today. And then start back around noon Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Just let me know. And hopefully I'll get this cough thing situated in the next week or so. It's been going for like 2 months now, gosh. I assume it's still asthma related, but I'm not 100% sure at this point. Because I haven't had asthma this bad for like, if this is asthma, for like 10 or 11 years now. So I'm not sure if it's necessarily asthma, but it might be. But anyways, guys, did we get a Cedricer? Yes, no? No. I saw a 1.2 multiplier, was like, yes, Cedric. But then the image loaded and it's like, no, never mind. Because if it's a 1.2, that is a good indication that's probably Cedric. But there is obviously that 1.2 room that isn't a Cedric room. I think there's only one, and it's literally that one room. That's a fail. But anyways, guys, hope you all have a wonderful rest of your week. Best of luck with the new hero class, which we are getting really soon. 5 hours, 44 minutes from now. If you want to go do it then. We'll be doing it around noon tomorrow, hopefully. Which is soonish. That's like 15 hours from now or so. And yeah, we'll be covering this soon. The video up for it won't be up for probably a little while. I'm not sure exactly when I'll be doing this video for it. I might do it immediately. I might do it a little bit later. Regardless, it's going to be up either later on Friday or later on Sunday, most likely. One or the other. Depends if I want to show it with all of the perks or everything. I might just record it without all the perks and just show it once it gets to level 40 or so. Because it won't necessarily need the extra +1 blue, because it already has +2 blue, so there's a very little difference visually between 2 and 3. There's a big difference between 0 and 1, but the difference between 2 and 3 is very little noticeable. Like, it makes a difference, but it's not that noticeable of a difference. Because the core mechanic of it's still there, compared to 0 to 1. Because a 0 to 1, you definitely need that +1, otherwise it barely does anything. And it does gain a decent benefit off of max. However, I don't believe there's currently any rogue meta that it's going to be used for. So even though it gains 1 magic to all rogues, including itself, per extra turn, that's not going to be too relevant. Obviously, the fact that it feeds itself is going to be relevant, but as far as a full rogue composition team, I don't think it's really going to be used with that yet. Maybe if rogues get a half-mana start to all allies, it will. Like, it's going to become really meta if they ever end up doing that, but as it currently stands, there's no troops that give all rogues 50% mana start. But who knows, that's probably going to happen in the near future, but it is not currently happening now. But anyways, guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend, have a wonderful Friday, and best of luck with the new hero class. Catch all of you later, and thanks for stopping by. Goodbye, everyone!